Hello, this is Eve Starr with Eve Starr Fiber Arts here in the Ozarks. This is later the same day where we posted that huge storm. We had tornadoes in the area. That was pretty hairy. But today we are looking at some different types of stretchy knit yarns and unstretchy ones because my previous video we were talking about a bath mat. And we were using all like knit interlock tricot fabric, cutting it into strips and using it to knit, crochet, or weave with. So I pulled out a selection of my favorite yarns in these categories just to discuss the differences a little bit and what I found I like to use them for and what I don't. First of all, over here, we've got two of the fabrics that I pointed out yesterday for the shower curtain. And I went ahead and cut these in 2-inch strips. Now, a lot of people cut them narrower, but what I wanted was when I stretched it for it to roll up into a nice rounded tape, so it wouldn't be too skimpy when I weave with it. Because as I'm beating down the rigid heddle, I don't beat it hard, but I don't want it to all flatten out into nothing. I want there to be some filler there. Like in this rug that I made for my spinning wheel Twyla, I used this yarn right here. It's from Ice Yarns, and believe it or not, it's this thick, and it ends up looking like that in the rug. So it does compact quite a bit. And as we know, the weaving is pixels, so you have that little dot effect, which I love. And I used indigo yarns, I used sari silk that I made into yarn, and some of my own homespun. And that was all based on my favorite, can't really see it over there right now, but my favorite picture by Van Gogh is his poppies. Anyway, back to this yarn. This is by Ice Yarns. They are out of Turkey, and if you can get past in your brain paying the amount for shipping that you have to, it's really very cheap. This is about $3.99 to $4.99 for this whole 8-ounce skein, which is quite a bit, and it's soft cotton. It's not quite as robust as what I just made out of this yesterday, but it's really nice to work with. I used it right here in this table mat that coordinates with that rug. So you see you get those very nice pops of butter yellow. So it does the work for you. There are some joins in there, but not that many. And so for $3 or $4.99, you end up paying about $7 shipping from Turkey. DHL gets it here in 2 days. And the additional items on the same order come out to $4.90 shipping. So if you average it out and you just look at it as a whole, that's still a very good price. I've just got this thing where I hate paying for shipping, and I know it's ridiculous. So here, this was a top that somebody gave me, and I love olive. I love really intense olive like this. But the top was just too big and loose. So I used that, and that's real soft. It's got a soft, tender hand next to that. Okay, and again, I cut those 2 inches wide, and then I gave them a yank, and they roll up into probably about 1/2 inch, maybe 5/8. If you're a sewer, you know 5/8 really well, don't you? It's a centimeter. Now over here, we have some more stretchy tape yarns, ribbon yarns, and these are all cotton. These are commercial, and they're much thinner, but they're super soft. They're wonderful to work with. This is another Ice yarn. This is it in a ball. And you get like a lot of 6 to 8 balls for like $7, $8, and then that shipping I mentioned. And it is super soft and beautiful to work with. It's a complete tube. Now this is another one that they sell, but this one is a lot thinner. And I've had to double and triple it to get it to work. And it's like a navy blue, and it's beautiful, but really thin. Now over here, one of my favorites, this is a tacky Stacy Charles brand. All cotton, and it is as soft as can be. I used it on a couple of scarves for my husband Nick, and he just loves it. It's super soft, and it's really gorgeous. This is another one that Ice makes. It's another one of those soft, stretchy tube yarns. It's like a variegated with some silver and midnight blue. Again, thin, but on a fine gauge rigid heddle loom, like 15 threads per inch maybe. That could work really well in the weft. This is one of my favorites. This is a beautiful silk by Collinette. She's out of Wales. And this is a little bit thicker, and it's got a little bit of stretch. It's flat. It's a little bit stretchy. Let me see if you can see that. But look at those gorgeous colors. Now, this one is also silk, but it doesn't stretch at all. And it's beautiful, but it does tend to compact when I work with it. When I knit with it, I'm not real happy about how it looks. It's not real soft either. It's a little bit scratchy. So while it's beautiful, you need to factor in the fact that it doesn't stretch and that the hand of it changes a bit when you work with it. Here's another one by Ice. This is one of their flat tapes. This is also mostly cotton. Let me see. That is 75% cotton, 25% acrylic. So you see what you get there. Again, a lot of 6 to 8 balls. Very inexpensive, really. And nice to work with. Now this is another type of novelty yarn. It is a ribbon yarn that is made out of something like a nylon. And it's shiny and it pops real nice. I've used it in the peony pink awareness scarves that I made for a breast cancer survivor. And it shows up real nice and makes real pretty fringe too. But I wouldn't make an entire thing out of it. Now I'll just wrap it up now with these 3. These are cotton boucle that came on a big tube that I bought in bulk from a factory that sells like mill ends, the leftover cones from when they're weaving yarn in a factory. And I used soda ash as my mordant. You use vinegar to get dye to absorb in protein fibers. And I made up my own dyes for this. And this is kind of a grape. This is a pretty pink. And this is a gorgeous teal. And this nice soft cotton boucle is about an equivalent weight with these other yarns to use in scarves and things. And it comes out beautiful. So anyway, that's a nice little overview on ribbon and tape yarns. And again, t-shirt yarns, you can make them yourself if you've got enough t-shirts laying around. Nastasia Crochet by Donna Wolf here on YouTube has some terrific videos on how to cut t-shirt strips efficiently. So if you've got a lot of t-shirts or you go to the thrift store and find them, that's great. But if you're impatient, want to get rolling, these are some different things you can consider. Thank you for joining us. More tutorials coming soon. Please hit the subscribe button. And if there's anything confusing or that you would like more information about, and even input, if I'm talking too fast or too slow or whatever, I want clarity and I want to be able to communicate helpful things. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you here at the channel soon.